guys, it is X. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be discussing my top 5 high quality CPR tips. If you guys are not in the medical field and you don't have a CPR certification, I do highly recommend getting it. I know there'll probably be years that you'll go without using it, but it does make the biggest difference in saving somebody's life. So if you have the opportunity to go and get your BLS certification, I highly recommend it. At the end of the video, I will tell you a story that my best friend, how she actually saved a man's life using CPR on an app. If you can't believe that. But anyway, if you guys want to know my tips, just keep on watching. But before you swipe me away or click me out of this video, please like, comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Okay, so disclaimer. Per the American Heart Association, when somebody goes into cardiac arrest, there's actually only a 10% chance that you'll get them back. And in that 10% chance, there's actually only a 10% chance that you'll get that person back without any neurological problems. So the hardest thing I think to swallow here is that you aren't going to save everyone. And that sounds sad, it sounds horrible, but don't get yourself down. I still encourage you to do your best every single time you have to initiate ACLS or BLS, but just know that the statistics are very, very low. Sadly, even after all these years and all the high-tech technology, having a life vest or having that thing that does the compressions for you, the chances are very low, but it's still worth a shot. So I'm going to be talking about my tips and tricks for CPR and going into a code. And I know some of you are going to roll your eyes at me and think, what the hell is this girl doing? But I kid you not, in the last year or two since I started doing this, I have gotten every single patient back that I have done CPR in 2 minutes. Sounds crazy. Now, not everybody survives, and that is just a thing that happens, unfortunately. Of course, you have your 6 H's and T's that play into factors, and those you just can't help, but the quicker you get to the person, the better. So I'm gonna start off with tip number 1. As soon as you hit this code button, oh, and this is for the hospital, not for the field. So some of these tips, unless you work in a hospital, probably won't make sense. So my first tip is, as soon as you hear the code button go off and you're running towards the room, tuck your badge into your shirt or into your pocket if you have one. Why? There have been numerous times where I jump on a chest and I'm doing compressions and my badge is bouncing up and down like crazy, especially if you have one of the swivel badge reels. It jumps like crazy and I feel like it's gonna smack me in the face. Also, that goes with if you have glasses, like angle yourself in a way that when you're doing compressions, you're not having them slide or slip off your nose. I was recently in a code and the charge nurse was on the chest and I saw glasses on the bed and I was like, do you need these? And she's like, I was gonna put them back on her face and she's like, no, it's okay, they keep falling off. So if you can, wear contacts, and if you can't, just try to angle your face in a way where they won't fall off. So tip number 2 is going to be, I guess I didn't count this as a tip, but working out personally has made me better in codes. Why? Because of my endurance and just my cardiovascular stamina to begin with. If you've never done compressions, 2 minutes of compressions is exhausting. Like, you don't, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen in videos, people are on the chest and they're just pushing up and down. It is a lot of work. You do have to push fast, you have to push hard, you have to pump at a pace of 100 to 120 beats per minute, and you have to go in 2 inches deep at least. So if and we're talking about adults here, not children. I don't do peds or NICU or babies, so anything like that. So this is for adults. So working out, definitely lifting weights, running has helped my cardiovascular endurance, has helped me be able to stay in rhythm and not get tired as easily, because sometimes codes can run 20 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour. So you definitely want to make sure that you are healthy enough to perform it. Okay, so this is my third tip, and I know that this tip is what is going to make people roll their eyes at me, question my competence and my work ethic, I guess, but my tip is, and I honestly feel like this is the tip that makes me so good at it, is that I hop on the bed. Yes, I'm going to say it again. I am 5'1". I thought I was 5'2". Apparently the doctor checked my height and I'm actually 5'1". I am 5'1", and no matter if the bed is low, no matter if I have a stool, the angle that I am at, it still feels uncomfortable. It still feels like that little stool is gonna slip out from underneath me. So hopping on the bed and getting directly over the patient, I kid you not, is the biggest tip that I can give you. And I feel like it puts all of my upper body weight directly on the person. So when I'm compressing, the compressions are just better in my opinion. And I'm not lying, like literally in the last year, every time I go in to do compressions, within the next pulse check, we have one. I can promise that. It being, whether the person survives or not is a different story, because just because you can get a pulse back doesn't mean the person is going to live. There are many other factors, but ever since I started hopping on the bed and just being directly over them, I don't know, it just makes a huge difference. And I know that might sound weird to you, and if you're definitely a taller person, that might not make sense to you, but it is just such a comfortable position. I kind of put my knees like one by the shoulder and one more by the abdomen and just lean over. But I don't know, it works so well for me. And I literally don't remember the last time I didn't get a patient back in 2 minutes when it was my turn to compress. If I wasn't the first person or I was the last person. I remember we were in a code, I was the last person to hop off. We were gonna call it. I started walking away, and then all of a sudden they're like, come back, come back, come back, there's a pulse. And I'm like, what? Like, we've been going at this for 45 minutes. I'm shocked. But that is the biggest tip I can probably give you. My fourth tip is going to be talk to the person. I know that might sound weird, but I always ask when I hop on, what is the patient's name? And if I don't know the name, or I am like too busy to check the wristband or can't see their name on the monitor, I just say, come on mama, or come on papa, like not today, like don't go towards the light. I don't know what it is. It just, I feel like a personal connection to that patient. And when I'm talking to them, I feel like, first of all, I feel connected because I'm literally the heartbeat. Like, I am the person that's keeping this person's blood flow by pumping on their chest. And by just talking to them, I don't know, I feel like a sense of connection with them. And I'm like, just stay away from the light. The next tip I have for you, number 5, is angle your body towards the Zoll. If you guys have a Zoll and you have the feedback pad that is on the chest, angle yourself towards the Zoll so you can see that diamond and that rectangle fill, because I've been to a hospital recently where they had the Zoll, but the feedback wasn't on, so you couldn't hear it tell the person like push harder, push faster. So they couldn't, they didn't know what they were doing. And I clearly saw that this person was not doing the best compressions that they could have been. And I'm like yelling, push harder, push harder. And I didn't want to be like that rude person, but like in the the room, but you have to make sure you're advocating for this person. And if you see somebody's like starting to slack off or not doing a good job, you have to say something, because high quality CPR is what this person needs to survive. So that is definitely another tip that I have, is make sure you can at least see that monitor, or make sure you're listening to it. And with that, the tip that I have with that is I count out loud, even though they're intubated, and you don't have to count the whole 30 to 2 if they're intubated and they're doing the ambu bag on the ET tube. Like usually they just do continuous breaths anyway. However, I don't know, like I feel a sense of calming when I'm counting, because when I'm counting, I do 30 and then I say 1, and then hit the 30 and then I say 2, and I know kind of where I'm at in the compression cycle. Kind of puts me at like, okay, this is how many more I need to do before we're gonna do a pulse check, just to like keep myself motivated to keep going. And like if I start tiring out, I know when to it's almost time, like, all right, I got this, there's only like 2 more rounds, and then we'll do a pulse check. And then I guess I didn't mention 6 tips, but that is definitely gonna be my 6th tip. Get off when it's time, like get off when you know you're tired. I struggle with this sometimes with like compressions, and ambu bag is definitely my like safe zone. And I've had like charge nurses tell me all the time, like, don't do compressions, try to do something else. And it's like, no, I am great at compressions. I am really good at it. That is my safe zone. That is what I like to do. So I like to stay there. I'm not the best at putting in IVs, so I don't even like go towards the meds unless they have like a central line. But you have to know your strengths and you have to know your weaknesses as a nurse. Not everyone's gonna be good at everything. And I know my weakness and my flaw, and that's IV insertion. So why would I, in a life-saving situation, run towards the meds and the IV stuff when I know I'm not good at that? So don't forget, let's reiterate and recap. You hear that code button go on, you run to the room. As you're running, you're putting your badge in your shirt, you hop on the chest, angle yourself towards that Zoll. Make sure you hop on the bed if you can, if you feel comfortable, if you feel safe, and talk to that patient as you're pumping. Like count 1, 2, 3. Not today, Miss Jones. 1, 2, 3. Not today. Like that. I don't know. That is just me. Those are my tips and tricks, and I swear by them. If you've ever worked with me and ever done compressions and you're like, what the hell is this crazy ass girl doing? Why is she on the bed practically straddling the patient? I don't know, but it works, and I have not lost a patient since. Unfortunately, maybe they passed away a day or a couple hours later, but not when you're doing high quality CPR. You want every chance to get this person back. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any tips and tricks for any new grads, any nurses, for me, if you think I'm just crazy about what I'm talking about, just go ahead and leave the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, I was packing everything away and I totally forgot to tell you the story about my friend. So I've already turned off my ring lights. I apologize if the video looks a little bit different. But anyway, my friend was at a store waiting in line when she got a notification from this app that she has called Pulse Point. In the app, there's an option for you to get notifications if there is a 911 phone call like around you where somebody emergently needs CPR. So she happened to be standing in line with one of our coworkers, and she's like, oh my God, I got a notification, like this has never happened to me. She said she clicked like, it asked her like, can you respond? And she hit yes, and it gave her like a GPS, I guess, map or something too, so she can know like where to go. So she said she ran out of the store, bolted down to the store that this person was at. She said there was like a bunch of people waiting outside, waiting for EMS. And when she showed up, she's like, I'm a nurse, I saw somebody needs help. And they're like, yes, he's in this aisle. So she went to the person, they're already on the floor. She said that they looked blue. Somebody in the store had already tried to start initiating CPR, but they didn't really know what they were doing. And so they were on the phone with 911 and they're like, oh, do you want to talk to them? And she's like, no, like I need to get on the chest as soon as possible. So I think she said she did like 3 rounds of CPR. EMS got there. I think they did another 1 or 2 rounds and they got this person back. They took them to our ICU where they ended up doing targeted temperature management, and then the patient actually survived with no neurological deficits. So if you're in the medical field and this sounds like something that you would like to do, download Pulse Point. I will insert a photo here of what the app looks like, and I downloaded it as soon as she told me this story, so I have it. I have yet to get a notification, but it's always good, I think, to just help. You are covered by the what law is that? Good Samaritan law. You're covered by the Good Samaritan law, so if it's something that you're willing to do, I highly suggest downloading it. My best friend saved somebody's life off of it. Okay, bye.